You are now tuned in to The Money Zone with your host, Folasade, the accountant for entrepreneurs. The time is now, your future waits, your money matters, make no mistake, it's not too late to dominate, so don't delay, get your money straight. The money zone, together we'll achieve your goals, we're building wealth, you're not alone, so don't delay, get your money straight.
Hey guys, how are you? Happy Tuesday. It's your girl Folasade, the accountability accountant, guys. I am so excited to be back with you guys on this Tuesday. Look, it's been so much going on. Tax season is officially over with. Thank goodness. Last week it wasn't, right? So today, guys, we're talking about all of this PPP segment. This PPP and the EIDL, kind of like fraud that's going on, but how to properly use the loans and what you could and could not use for the loans. We're going to kind of have some fun with it as well. And then segment 2, we're going to talk about tax planning and why everybody, whether you are rich, middle class, or poor, just starting your business, whatever the situation may be, you need to be doing tax planning. So if this is your first time tuning into the Money Zone, please head on over and join our mailing list, okay? And go to bit.ly/TMZ get notified. TMZ, capital TMZ, get notified. bit.ly/TMZ, get notified. Join our mailing list for any type of freemiums, links, checklists that we talk about throughout the show, but then you'll also get updates in terms of our guests and everything else. So guys, what we normally do, we're going to take a quick break, right? This give you some time to go to the bathroom, grab your libation, share the video with your friends, and tell them we're having a good conversation tonight. So guess what? I'll be right back. Perfect. Hey guys, welcome back. So look, I hope you grabbed everything. And I forgot to tell you, what you all should know if you've been watching any of my shows, my live streams, you need to grab your pen and your paper because we're going to have a good conversation. So if you don't know, the first segment today, we're going to be breaking down the proper uses of the PPP. So let me tell you guys where this conversation stemmed from. So my PR team, you know, she always is out there paying attention to everything that's popping. And what she realized was that two individuals posted on their Facebook feeds, like they got, I'm going to read it all to y'all. I was kind of hesitant to tell y'all the numbers, right? But it's kind of crazy. So this individual ended up collecting over $275,000 between every PPP and every EIDL and every other program that was out there. Okay, so this individual person ended up getting the EIDL grant for $9,000, the EIDL loan for $150,000, the Maryland Commerce Grant for $10,000, the PG County Grant for $25,000, the Maryland State Development and Economics Grant for $1,600. Oh, the PG County Grant was $25,000, guys. Sorry. Also, they got the SBA PPP loan and the grant coming up to a total of $27,325. So business number one, they ended up getting $222,925. Business number two is a sole proprietor. They ended up getting a EIDL loan for grant for $1,000, the loan for $15,900, the PPP loan for $15,456, which gave them $32,000. Oh, am I going? Which gave them $32,000 of money for the sole proprietor. Then they ended up collecting the stimulus check, the EBT, so they ended up getting food stamps for $3,000 and unemployment. Look, y'all, I'm just a messenger here, okay? This is very long and very extensive, right? And guys, don't forget, if you're live on any of the platforms, Facebook, except for you guys on Instagram, Facebook, Periscope, if you guys post your comments, I think I can see them and I can respond back to them. So if you guys want me to engage with you guys like you normally would do, call into the studio or something, then post your comments there. So they ended up getting unemployment for $13,000, giving them a total of $20,064, okay? Bringing them to collecting over $275,000 from all of the various programs, okay, from all the various programs during this pandemic. Okay, so I know some of you guys are like, okay, Folasade, well, what is the problem, Folasade? What is the problem, right? Okay, problem number one. Let me be really honest with you guys. You should not have applied for any funding if there wasn't a need for it. So this individual that we're giving you this case study on, they're going to have to prove that their business needed all of that funding. So we're going to have to look at every different situation separately, okay? We're not going to look at the EBT and everything right now. We're just going to look at the business funding. Okay, so first of all, they need to be able to prove that $150,000 from the EIDL, that $15,000 from the PPP, okay, plus the grants that you received was on a need basis. So what do I mean by need basis? That means either your industry had a tough time. That means you had government restrictions on how you were able to deliver your product, or if you were even able to even offer your product. Some of your businesses were shut down. Some of you couldn't convert your businesses over to online. You wasn't successfully able to pivot your businesses. So there had to be a need, a struggle, a reason for you to apply for all of the funding, right? But honestly, baby girl that did the post on Facebook, I don't really believe truly that there was a significant need for that much money. Here's why. Between you and I did not want to screenshot the post. The person's employees was like, hold up. You got all of this money, you know, black folks, right? Black folks was like, okay, no. You receive all of this money and I'm fired and I'm at home and I'm collecting unemployment. Ding, ding, ding. Red flag number one. If you were going to fire all of your employees, okay, or force them to apply for unemployment, you should not have received so much funding, okay? Because remember, guys, and I'm going to share my screen for all of you, so everybody that's on Instagram, you will not be able to see my screen. If I can even find the links, give me 1 second. So the EIDL loan is for like working capital to keep the business afloat, to keep it running, right? And so if you know that you're not going to keep your staff on board, or if you know that you are not going to use the money to keep the business open and functioning, such as paying insurance and paying the lights and paying the electricity, paying the mortgage and the rent. If you know you weren't going to do those things, then you should not have applied for any type of funding. So let me share my screen, because this is a mess, guys. It's like, honestly, alrighty, so we're looking at the SBA disaster relief fact sheet, okay? And we're going to go down and we're going to read exactly what the EIDL loan is, which, you know, we did this early on in the year, but many of you are seeming like you still don't understand things. So it says the economic injury disaster loan, the EIDL loans, are loans for working capital to small businesses. Instagram, y'all in the way. To small businesses and small agricultural cooperatives to assist them through the disaster recovery period. The EIDL assistance is only available to applicants and their owners who cannot provide for their own recovery from non-government sources. Farmers, ranchers, nurses, religious, and nonprofit organizations are not eligible for an EIDL. Well, they ended up correcting that part. So the SBA should have updated this form, but they ended up changing that part and expanded the EIDL loan to the agricultural industry. But basically, the reason why I wanted you guys to see this, because it's for working capital, okay? It is for working capital. So if you guys don't know what the definition of working capital is, okay? So working capital is the money that a business needs to keep it going, okay? So according to Google, as you guys can see, working capital is the capital of a business which is used in its day-to-day operations, okay? So that's your payroll, that's your rent, that's your insurance, those all of your softwares that you use in your business to keep it afloat. Those are those things that you can use the EIDL loan for. However, if you've closed your doors, okay, and if you have not been paying your mortgage and you are not paying your staff, then honestly, you do not qualify for the EIDL loan, because your intentions were to never, okay, keep your business afloat and to use this as an opportunity to do what? Get rich quick, right? Get rich quick. And that's what I'm saying. Honestly, what's happening out here in these streets, people are using these loans and stuff for to kind of like stunt. If you guys did not know, the feds found out that somebody then bought a Lamborghini, okay, a $4 million car from the EIDL loan, okay? So they are hip. So we're going to go back to the SBA document that I was showing you. so we can see what exactly you guys should be and what restrictions there are on the loan. Okay, so we already talked about loan terms. We've already talked about all of those things in previous episodes on the Money Zone. So if you guys want to figure out what are the loan terms and stuff like that, then I advise you go to ripradionetwork.com, go up and it says on demand, and check out some of the old videos of our previous episodes so you can get more details regarding the loan requirements and stuff. Because I see that many of you are still messaging me about the loan requirements. I've been even receiving messages talking about, oh, well, you said that my business had to be functioning by February 15th, and that's not true. And I'm like, yes, that is true. It is true. Okay. So guys, so here's the restrictions on the what you can use the loan proceeds for. Okay. So and see, this is where that Lamborghini got themselves, the owner of that Lamborghini, they got themselves in so much trouble, because if you can see on my screen here, it says ineligible property, secondary homes, personal pleasure boats, airplanes, recreational vehicles, and similar property are not eligible, okay, unless used for business purposes. But let's really be honest, guys, when it comes down to the tax code, when it comes down to like eligible vehicles and, you know, things that you can claim in your business, remember, it's never should be excessive, okay, and extremely luxurious. So even if you got your boy Grant Cardone talking about he's buying airplanes and all of that stuff, that may not be excessive or extravagant for what he's making. But for all of you mom and pops, if you guys go out and buy a Bentley and you just received that EIDL loan, then you might be sending yourself up the creek, because honestly, you would have been able to afford the EIDL loan, the Bentley truck without the loan. Many of you are going to get yourselves caught up because you're not using the money appropriately. It's for working capital, okay? Working capital. If you don't know what working capital is, in any of the chats that you're watching the show on, put in the chat, I don't know what, working capital. I don't know. Put it in the chat. I don't know. So I can come back and post in exactly a link for you guys to download expenses that are considered working capital, okay? But immediately think about it like this. What are the things you're unable to let go of when running your business? So, for example, we use Zoho One, their enterprise systems. I cannot afford to have any downtime in Zoho. All of my team members, all of us use it. All of my clients use Zoho. So if I don't pay for Zoho, then I won't be able to function in my business. So those are like working capital expenses. So for example, we also use Smart Vault for our client portal. If I don't pay for Smart Vault every month, then that means my business will not be able to function. You are only supposed to use the EIDL loan for working capital purposes, and you can use it to expand and, do Facebook ads and marketing and all of that stuff, right? You can, but anything excessive, buying a secondary home that's not for the business, but you can do stuff for the business. You just have to ask yourself, is this 100% business use? And does the business need it? Okay. And can I prove that the business will utilize this asset or this purchase 100% of the time? If that's not the case, then you need not to be buying it nor investing into it. But all of you small business owners that ended up getting the EIDL loan, yes, you can use it for marketing. Yes, you can use it for Facebook ads. Yes, you can use it to pay your contractors. Yes, you can do that. Now, taking 10,000 of that money, no, let's say taking 15,000 of that money and just moving it over to your personal account, don't recommend. Don't do it. Pay yourself on payroll right? Like you are an employee, and then whatever money is your payroll, you can use for your personal, because you have to also be paid for the services that you provide in the businesses. So many of you are screwing yourself up because you cannot save. So let's take a real world situation. So let's say you ended up getting the PPP loan for $150,000, right? You have staff and you pay them often with the payroll, but you haven't put yourself on payroll. This is the time now, because the only way that you can really compensate yourself, this is the time now for you to say, okay, you know what? I'm actually going to pay myself. Either you pay yourself as a contractor, because you are an LLC, single member, so you don't issue yourself a W-2 or a 1099, right? Or your business is a S Corp or corporation, okay? Remember, partnerships doesn't do W-2s at all, okay? You do guaranteed payments. So what you need to do is set it up accordingly. Every week, I'm going to pay myself XYZ dollars and stay consistent. Every 2 weeks, just like my staff, I'm going to pay myself every 2 weeks. You just pulling $15,000 out, it's not going to fly. You just pulling $20,000 out is not going to work. That looks shady, and it doesn't look like that is for real, a business expense. Do you normally pull out $15,000 from your business to pay yourself? If not, don't do it. If that was your normal payroll prior to COVID, yes, you can do it, because you have the track record, okay? But if that wasn't, then guess what? I don't recommend it. So remember, working capital, okay? So now, let's go into baby girl getting those EBT now, okay? So let's really be honest. First of all, here we go, and I'm about to share my screen. You know, now Facebook have this fake news shindig, whereas if you post content, somebody can validate or verify, okay, the accuracy of your information on your flyer and stuff. So there was a post going around that was saying that, oh, Maryland was allowing anyone, regardless of restrictions, right? Maryland was allowing anyone, regardless of restrictions, to apply for EBT, for food stamps and stuff. So guys, I'm about to share my screen. Again, you guys on Instagram that's watching, if you guys want to see everything that we're showing, go to ripradionetwork.com. And for all of you that would like additional information about today's topics and our content, I advise you to go to bit.ly/TMZ notified. Get notified, I think. I'm going to probably put that here. Okay. Nope, I don't want to take no survey. Alrighty, so guys, we are on AP News, Associated Press news. And, you know, Associated Press is where all of the PR people come and, you know, get resources and connections and communicate and get articles out and stuff. So they say Maryland not waiving income requirements on food stamps. The claim, okay? In response to the coronavirus pandemic, food stamps are available to everyone in Maryland during April and May, regardless of income. I'm going to be really honest with y'all. My girlfriends was like, Folasade, you ain't apply for no food stamps. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to apply for no food stamps, girl. I don't want to look. I don't want to get caught up, right? I didn't want to get caught up, and I advise you guys not to get caught up. And the reason being I say this because they are going to do audits, okay? They are going to ask for additional paperwork. They are going to ask for proof, okay? So the Associated Press assessment said false. A flyer circulating on social media was altered to make it appear eligibility requirements for receiving food stamps in Maryland had changed. The facts. Social media users on Facebook and Twitter this week shared the altered flyer online claiming Maryland had changed its Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which is SNAP, to accommodate all incomes. Maryland is just giving everybody food stamps, stated one tweet. Other changes to the flyer claimed a single person will receive $194 regardless of your income. The flyer, originally posted by the Homeless Persons Representation Project, stated, apply for SNAP benefits today. In response to the global pandemic, the Maryland Department of Human Services will provide all current Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program recipients and new eligible applicants with the maximum benefit amount for April and May. Income guidelines for eligibility still apply. So why did I bring this up? Because based on our case study and the post on Facebook, that the person that ended up getting over $200,000 in business funding from the PPP and the EIDL and grants and everything else for their business, stimulus checks in the works, right? That they ended up qualifying for the Maryland SNAP. And many of you probably followed that Twitter post and went and applied and also received. And honestly, if you were still receiving your full income, you did not qualify. If you making $60,000, $50,000, $45,000, and you would normally walk into the SNAP and they would disqualify you, then you weren't eligible to receive food stamp supplemental benefits. Okay, so all of you guys that applied and ended up receiving it, and you know you were still receiving income from your 9-to-5, please, you shot yourself in the foot. Please brace yourself and possibly prepare yourself to repay that money. And if you don't know how the state of Maryland goes, they will garnish your wages, take your federal refund, and they will do everything to get their cash back. Maryland do not play. They like 50 Cent. Give me mine. Meet me out. I'm outside. Give me mine, right? Okay. So that means that this case study, that person that's posted, they committed fraud or they're blatantly lying just to get people to pay them to help them apply for all of these programs. Because what I'm finding is that there are so many individuals charging significant monies on the web, and I might be talking about you, okay? Okay? Significant monies charging people to apply for these programs, okay? And now they use that as a way to trigger you, as their sales caption to trigger you to pay for their services. So here's the red flag. And then after this, guys, we're going to take a quick break and then go into tax planning. So here's the problem. If that individual received all of the money that they claim to have received in their EIDL and PPP loan, and they were able to pay themselves a payroll, meaning they were on payroll as the owner, or they paid themselves as the owner, however way they did it, right? Then guess what? They are completely disqualified from receiving SNAP benefits because they had government funding supplementing their actual income that they would have received. So that is problem number one. Problem number two, your intentions. If your intentions were to get that loan and not pay your staff, then you have a problem. Her staff should not be receiving unemployment benefits if she received all of those monies. So my question to all of you, did you receive these EIDL loans and the PPP loans, and you forced your staff to go and apply for unemployment benefits? Then you may have caused yourself some major issues simply because both loans are used to maintain your staff, your maintain. So the EIDL loan is used to broader terms, working capital. The PPP is for payroll. Okay, so you were supposed to use that money to keep your staff on board so they wouldn't. See, the reason why the government gave you guys the EIDL and the PPP loans is to prevent people from applying for unemployment benefits. See, this is where the problem's going to mess many of you up. It's because you guys don't understand that the unemployment is a major economic indicator, okay? And it steers investors and fondles and plays with the stock market. So for all of you that did not pay your staff and you had your staff file for unemployment and you received government funding, then you might have gotten yourself into some deep shit, because guess what? You didn't mess with and altered the initial government's plan, which was to prevent a spike in unemployment claims. All right. So they received the unemployment. In addition to that, we talked about the SNAP. Okay. Another thing, the EIDL and the PPP loan should not have overlapped. If you ended up getting the PPP loan in April and all of the funding that you had from the PPP loan was dissolved or used up in June, then yes, if you received the EIDL loan in July, you're good to go, right? But if that funding starts to overlap, meaning you receive everything at one time before the money was able to be utilized, then we have a problem. And problem 3 is there a need? Is there a need for all of this funding? That is the main thing. And if you guys check out one of our previous videos, like I said, I'm gonna have my team set up the episodes so I can tell you guys what episodes. So if you go back to one of the previous videos, I showed you guys a loan document, the promissory note of the EIDL loan, and it specifically says, again, there has to be a need for it, not just because you want to level up. If you were struggling, then you follow in through with the need. But if you wasn't struggling, you still making, hundreds of thousands, 60-something thousand before you got the loan, then you might have gotten yourself into some trouble. Okay. And then last but not least, do not use the PPP money for personal use. I've already said what you're supposed to do. Pay yourself like you would normally do, and then use the funds how you would normally do if you were to pay yourself. Okay. So guys, that's segment 1. I'm gonna check out y'all videos, y'all comments and stuff when I take a quick break. But if you guys have any comments, questions, concerns at all about the EIDL loan, what you could use it for, what you cannot, I think I made it very clear tonight. And I also gave a lot of you a warning that if you thought that this money was free money and you can play games with the government, then you dug your own self a hole. So guys, we're going to take a quick little break. Do me 2 things. Make sure you grab your pen and paper for segment number 2, because we're going to be talking about tax planning. Also, share the video with your friends. If they have a business, if they hate tax, if they hate Uncle Sam, they need to be in the loop, right? And then also go ahead on and refill that cup, guys. And look, share the video, and we'll be right back. Oh, yeah. Hey, guys, welcome back. So, look, we talked about it. I heard you. I see you guys' comments. Yep, it's a scam. It's a fraud. It's shady. And guess what? Don't get caught up, guys. All money isn't good money. And I'm going to be really honest with you. The SBA really want to give people the money that they know that's going to do right by their people, right by their organizations, but also be capable and able to repay the money back. And many of the people that ended up getting the loans, come on now, you can't even pay your mortgage on time, right? And that loan, that money you probably got is more than your mortgage, right? So how are you going to commit yourself to being responsible with the money when it was kind of like free money? Like, people never respect free money. So guys, post your questions, all of your concerns. I definitely will come back and answer them. Again, if you guys have not subscribed to our mailing list, go to bit.ly/TMZ, the money zone, all caps, get notified. Let me confirm, TMZ, yep, get notified, bit.ly/TMZ, get notified. If you are a small business owner and you want to expand your market share, you want to get your business out there, then I would say come on over here and sponsor one of the radio shows. Come and promote your business on here. And if you're interested in being on the show and promoting your company and expanding your viewership, go to bit.ly/be on the money zone, all lowercase. So guys, that was kind of our housekeeping. So let's go into the tax planning part. So I know many of you are like, oh, Folasade, you just got me hyped about the loads and all of this stuff, and then now you talk about taxes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So here's the reason why I want to talk about taxes, because first of all, I'm bruised, abused, and I'm still on vacation and I'm a little tired. Can't go nowhere, right? But the reason why I want to talk about taxes right now is because it's fresh in your mind. The impact of this tax season is just still lingering. If IRS bit your ass and you paid too much taxes, it's still stinging you right now, right? If you paid lower taxes, you like, I'm in, I'm happy, If you don't know anything about taxes, you're still confused, right? So I need as much time to prepare you guys for next year. So I just wanted to talk with you briefly about what is tax planning, right? What is it? Why do you need it? And then I'm going to give you guys a real illustration of the importance of tax planning. So I'm hoping we'll be able to get into everything. So look, so what is tax planning? So tax planning is the idea of assessing your whole tax situation, from how much money you make in your W-2s, your investments portfolio, your retirement account, what's the impact of your small business and its structure on your taxes, how much revenue you will derive from that small business. Tax planning encompasses so many different layers. And I'm going to be honest with you, that is the strategy that the rich utilize to pay Uncle Sam what they want to pay Uncle Sam. The rich utilize tax planning strategies and professionals like myself to analyze their tax situation year to year, not just no one time now, year to year, so they could know what they need to do. Should they give more donations? Should they put more into their retirement account? Should they start another business? Should they start a 529? Should they get long-term care? Should they do this? Should they do that? Okay, should they pull money out of their stocks? All sorts of things. Should they convert their personal home to a rental property, from a rental property to the personal home? Like, guys, when I tell you tax planning is the ish, this is why taxes and tax accountants would never disappear, simply because there is no case, there is no one size fits all when it comes down to taxes. You can have the same income, the same amount of children, the same husband can have the same age. You can live in the same state right across the street, but your tax situation is still different because your income is different, your assets are different, okay, and everything else, okay? So tax planning is extremely the key to control what you are going to be paying, and then also not only to control what you're going to be paying, but then for you to be able to predict and know and prepare yourself. So according to Investopedia, okay, tax planning is the analysis of a financial situation or plan from a tax perspective. The purpose of tax planning is to ensure tax efficiency. Through tax planning, all elements of the financial plan work together in the most tax efficient manner possible. Tax planning is an essential part of an individual investor's financial plan. Reduction of tax liability and maximizing the ability to contribute to retirement plans are crucial for success. So guys, right now I'm working with one of my clients. They are real estate flippers. And so when they came to me this year, they didn't have their business taxes filed. They already had the business structure. They had already did one flip. They just didn't have any, no clarity, no tax guidance, nothing. So I went in and I got them caught up with their taxes. We did some tax planning. So now, just off of the tax plan that we're going to do, first of all, we need to convert their business to a totally different entity. Okay? The entity that they have right now consumes and pays too much self-employment taxes. Okay. And guess what happens? At the end, that high self-employment tax becomes a higher tax burden for my clients. So just today at 9 o'clock this morning, my team sent the client over the invoice for them to pay me. So I can now do tax planning for them effectively so we can now become tax efficient. And so many of you ask me all the time, Folasade, how much money do I need to make the tax plan? It's not about the money that you need to make, because everybody should tax plan. Even if that means just calling me and say, hey, Folasade, what should I change my W-4 to? That's tax planning, okay? When you guys call the office and you say, Folasade, I want to buy a new property, that's calling me is allowing me to do tax planning. But when you guys are not familiar with the tax code, you don't understand that every major transaction in your lives impacts your taxes. Like many of you, y'all be selling cars on the side. I see y'all. When I ride past your house, you got the for sale by owner sign out there. And I bet you this, you're not paying taxes on that money. I bet you this, you probably didn't claim that car sale on your taxes, right? Many of you don't understand that everything in your life predicts your taxes. Your 401k, your IRA, if you don't have one, I was just about to wrap, y'all, your long-term care, everything else. So tax planning is essential, and it's not an income-based thing. Yes, the more money you make, the more complicated, the more advantageous it is to do tax planning. Yes, we have more options, more opportunities to do with you. However, every person on every level should know what their tax requirements are. What is their tax rates? They should know what tax bracket they fall within. What deductions are they able to take? What changes do they need to make year to year? What additional contributions do they need to make? Let me give you guys an example. So for example, the Tax Cut and Jobs Act, right, allow you to be able to deduct 60% of cash contributions as an itemized deduction, right? But guess what? Because of Corona, okay, because of Corona and everything else, right, the CARES Act went on ahead and said, you know what? Nope, we're going to allow them to take 100% of their AGI as a deduction, as an itemized deduction, if they contributed to charity. So if you make $175,000 and you have $175,000, you can put that whole $175,000 into your charity and get that full write-off. See, but these changes occur year to year. This is why tax planning is required, because many of you would not know that you are able to take certain deductions and do certain things, and then everything changes year to year. So for example, now, because of the pandemic, we're able to do net operating losses, carry back, carry forwards. So if you guys are doing your taxes on your own using TurboTax, you're out of luck. You don't know how to do the carry backs and net operating losses and all of that stuff. So all of the people that have tax professionals that do tax planning for them, guess what? They're going to get an amended return soon, or we're going to incorporate the net operating losses from years to years and years and years, so our clients won't pay any taxes next year. But because you guys are not tax planning, number one, and not working with the tax professional, number two, you are going to lose out on major deductions, even you being poor. Because look, guys, I even tax planned when I was struggling. When I started my company, I wasn't making any money. I wasn't making any money at all. I was broke. I was getting tax refunds. I qualified for the earned income tax credit. And many of you guys know my story because I've been telling you guys this for years. But I strategically utilized my tax refunds those years to reinvest back into my company. So when my company finally made money, right, I didn't pay taxes the first year I made money because I had all of my carry forwards because I didn't make any money, all right? All my net operating losses that carried forward that wiped out my tax debt. So many of you are going to miss out on so many tax benefits and tax deductions and tax strategies simply because you're using TurboTax to save $300. It is not worth it. Step away from TurboTax and start working with a tax professional because it's lifestyle based. Your taxes are lifestyle based. So I'm going to share you guys my screen from the AICPA, which is the governing board for CPAs, and this is the tax planning little guide that they give out. And the reason I'm showing you guys this, just so you can see how extensive this stuff is, and this is what you pay professionals for. You don't pay a professional to just do what you think TurboTax is doing. That's not what we do. So first of all, to be able to effectively tax plan, we need to know what is the client's filing status. You know, do the clients have any dependents? Because that will allow us to know whether or not you can qualify for the child care dependent expense, how much your child tax credit will be, depending on your income. And all of you guys that's on Instagram, you guys need to come on to ripradionetwork.com or onto our Facebook so you can see our screen as well. Also during tax planning, we need to know, are you giving out any gifts? Or are there any estate planning opportunities? Like what's going on? Okay. Do you have any 529s? Do you need to set up 529s for your children or for any other beneficiaries? Okay. Doing tax planning, we analyze all of your income sources. So for example, if you guys make a certain amount of money and you receive Social Security benefits, right? That additional income from other sources can trigger you paying more taxes on your Social Security. If you guys don't take itemized deductions or standard deductions, it can trigger your state refunds being taxable. So there's just so many different contributing factors as to why every individual on the planet Earth, no, on the United States that's tax-paying legal citizens, right? Well, not legal citizens, real taxpayers that want to do things right. Use tax planning for your benefit. Don't think of it as it is this daunting thing. Tax planning is actually extremely fun because it connects your investments, your business, your job, your success, and you see it all in one place. And our goal is to make sure that we save you as much money as possible so you can build wealth. How many of you now are saying, oh, Black wealth, I want to be a wealth, I want to be wealthy, I don't want to just be rich, I don't want to be wealthy. Okay, if you want to be wealthy, it starts with having a mindset that you first need to have a tax professional. No wealthy person uses TurboTax unless their taxes got so simple and all they have is their one little document, because all the assets and stuff been distributed and there's no more trust and anything else, then yes. But if they have a lot of assets, rental properties and everything, they're not doing their tax themselves. They're professionals like myself doing it, okay? So guys, that kind of wrap up the show for today, guys. So look, this month, the month of August, Black Business Month, me and my team will be kind of blasting a lot of our clients for the month of August. And if you are interested in expanding your network, this is time for you to start promoting your business here to gear up for your sales coming into 2021. Remember, marketing is something that needs to be done consistent and ongoing. And it needs to be done earlier prior to you expecting to make money. So if you're interested in marketing your company, go to bit.ly/ I think it is, and see, I have to remember this stuff, y'all. Don't laugh at me. Be on the money zone. And if you guys have any questions, join our mailing list and send them to me, or post your questions under tonight's video feed. And then last but not least, guys, August is Black Business Month, but we're gearing up topics about tax planning, tax strategies, and the importance of bookkeeping. So if you guys have any questions on all of that, post them there so I can answer them throughout the show and when I do my live streams on my personal platform. But yeah, that's all I got for you guys. So I will see you all next week, same time, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So guys, look, I'm excited. 2020 is still you guys' year. Do not get distracted. Stay focused, but do me two things. Make sure you incorporate accounting and accountability into your day-to-day life. All right, guys, I'll see you next week. Bye.